Part 2. Part 2. Sorry. Part 2. Yeah.
There's the whistle. Upsets the Uruguayan. And it's well saved by Marc-Andre ter Stegen. The ball fired to the keeper's left. At a relatively comfortable height. And the German shot stopper frustrates Mestalla. And Matty Gomez looking stunned. A side-footed effort. Ter Stegen with his feet up at the line.
Smells good.
I feel good about the way I wrap up my story.
Watch this, please. Oh my god. Subscribed. Just right now. Subscribed. Oh my god. Click on the channel. Let's see what they got. Claudio Bravo. Where's the Claudio Bravo one? Claudio Bravo.
Claudio Bravo was impenetrable for FC Barcelona in Chile. But these days, he doesn't even make the bench at Manchester City. So, what the hell happened to Claudio Bravo? To answer that question, let's rewind the clock back to 2014. That year, Ellen DeGeneres took that selfie at the Oscars. Flappy Bird was removed from the App Store, and oh yeah, Victor Valdez had just left FC Barcelona after 12 years of dedicated service. Claudio was brought in to replace him. And right away, he set a new La Liga record. He didn't concede a single goal in his first 754 minutes of play. That's almost 13 hours of scoreless football. That's enough time to watch every episode of Game of Thrones 4.5 times. I'll give you one guess as to who shattered Bravo's clean sheet streak. Bravo boasted the lowest goals-to-games ratio in La Liga that year, conceding only 19 goals in 37 matches. But despite his success in La Liga, manager Luis Enrique preferred Marc-Andre ter Stegen during Champions League and Cup matches. A rotation policy which angered both keepers. If I were to say that I'm taking it well, I would be lying, but I accept it. In the long run, these 25 games per season are not enough for me. The decision is made by the coach. I hope that the quality I've shown recently is rewarded. Luis Enrique refused to name either player as his #1 goalkeeper. Ter Stegen angled for it heavily in the meeting.
Stop.
After his great form in La Liga, Bravo
I said
thought he
stop.
deserved more than just sitting on the bench. Turns out, a brand new Premier League manager felt the same way. After giving Joe Hart the boot, City needed a new #1 goalkeeper. So, Bravo found himself in a familiar position, replacing a club legend as their new #1. He led them to 10 straight victories to start the campaign. But his good form soon began to evaporate. In his first Manchester derby, he made a terrible mistake. He dropped a Wayne Rooney free kick, allowing Zlatan Ibrahimovic to score an easy goal. On his return to the Camp Nou, he got sent off for saving a Luis Suarez shot with his hands while he was outside of the penalty area. Unbelievable! City lost 4-0, and Bravo's time at City was never the same. By winter, Guardiola had dropped him to the bench, favoring Willy Caballero instead. When he did make a rare appearance, his own fans made fun of him, cheering whenever he made a save. What a disgrace. Poor Claudio lost the faith of his fans, his manager, and himself. It only got worse when Ederson arrived from Benfica in 2017. Perhaps the final straw came when he ruptured his Achilles tendon in August 2018, an injury he's still recovering from. To make matters worse, USA international Zach Steffen is arriving in the summer and is widely expected to take over his position as backup keeper, leaving Bravo with all the time in the world to watch every Game of Thrones episode 4.5 times or more. Do you think Bravo can come back from this injury and challenge Steffen for the #2 spot? Or is his Manchester City career done and dusted? Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave us a like and A lot of people believe he's the greatest goalkeeper this world has ever seen. On a good day, David De Gea was an impassable wall. But for the past few months,
Even the cake.
Do not touch, don't get too close.
Bring them too. Smell them.
They smell so good.
Ma, smell them.
It smells good.
It smells
Smell
like
these.
chocolate. Smell these. Be careful, Ma.
Where's the glove?
She already. She tried that to see already. Yummy. I want to eat one already.
That one's
You have to let it sit para que...
It calms down. Hey, why are you running? Go running in the hallway. Okay, go running in the hallway.
the Spaniard's performances have been uneven at best. These days, he looks more like a llama than the world's best goalkeeper. But what exactly is going on? April 16th, 2019. Manchester needs to get a win over Barcelona to make it to the Champions League semifinals. And for that, De Gea will absolutely have to play the best match of his life. 20 minutes into the game, the goalkeeper makes an unbelievable error, damning his team. Even your baby sister could have stopped this shot from Messi. But this kind of mistake is just the first of its kind. In the 2018 World Cup, De Gea grants an absolute gift to Cristiano Ronaldo. Even your baby brother could have stopped this shot. In the end, the World Cup turned out to be De Gea's worst nightmare. Do you know how many shots he blocked during the whole competition? None!
That's right, 0. He's the only goalkeeper in the competition with such a terrible record next to his name. Ever since then, Man U fans have been biting their nails during each game. They can't stop wondering, when will De Gea screw up next? And there it is. The Spaniard gave 2 goals away to Chelsea and rolled the ball right to the feet of Marcos Alonso. As a result, the
I'll be back. How long is that?
The Red Devils lost their tie and said goodbye to qualifying for the next Champions League. And as unbelievable as it may have once seemed, De Gea has become the laughingstock of the internet. Even your grandpa. Okay, you get it. So what will it take? Is De Gea going to have to leave Manchester to get back to his former glory? Switch to a new league? Real Madrid don't seem so keen on recruiting De Gea. PSG, on the other hand, are looking pretty interested. One thing's for sure, the football world needs De Gea back. The once so flexible superhero, capable of saving the world like Spider-Man. For what it's worth, Sir Alex Ferguson has never been so sure of a player. In 27 years as a coach, Man U's coach has only missed 3 games. And for what? His son's wedding, his sister-in-law's funeral, and David De Gea. The Spanish goalkeeper was so good that Ferguson missed one of his team's games in his attempts to recruit him. Former goalkeeping coach Eric Steele remembers. I showed Sir Alex a DVD with a 3-minute compilation. Then we went to watch him play in an Atletico match in Valencia, the night that United was playing in a cup match. 65 minutes into the game, Sir Alex knew that he was the ideal recruit. De Gea has proven his talent over and over again in the past. And now it's time for the llama to once again become a beast. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave us a like and please subscribe to the channel. Now, the voice is yours. Give us your...
Some of the world's greatest footballers are filthy, and cheating in football can take many forms. Diving, purposeful attacks, fighting. Here's a potentially incomplete list of 9 players who play dirty on occasion, or all the time. Number 9, Diego Costa. Diego Costa, particularly in the Chelsea years, was a man you wanted on your team because he was unpleasant to play against. He's not afraid to provoke you until you lose it, and he can even get players sent off. He talks a lot of trash. He will step on your ankles. If he has a chance, he might jump on them. Costa will do absolutely anything he can to gain an advantage. It's that tenacity and that desire that made him a target for Jose Mourinho, who himself is no stranger to poking coaches in the eye. Number 8, Marco Materazzi. He's not the most talented player on this list. Materazzi was a gritty defender for club and country, but like Costa, he could get under your skin. Just ask Zinedine Zidane. It takes a lot to make Zinedine lose control, especially in a World Cup final. But Materazzi was irritating enough that he got headbutted right in the chest. It was a moment so special and so shocking that a statue of it was built. But it's far from the only time Materazzi's been a jerk. Bastian Schweinsteiger told media he understood why Zidane did it. The German was himself subject to Materazzi's verbal abuse in the past. Dirty play doesn't have a good outcome in the long term, kids. Although short-term positives are pretty jarring. Number 7, Morwin Hitz. There are a few ways to disrupt a penalty shot. Augsburg keeper Hitz put on a masterclass in 2015. After a penalty had been called, he argued with the ref, all the while tearing up the turf with his cleats. When the Cologne player took the shot, he tripped on the turf. Ingenious dark arts from a little-known Bundesliga player. The ref was completely oblivious as to what he'd done. Of course, he was exposed immediately after the match. It wasn't the most fair thing to do. It won't happen again. Cologne billed Hitz $134 for the damage, and Hitz paid. Number 6. Sergio Ramos. The Spain and Real Madrid captain does sometimes put his elbow right into people's faces. Look, we don't have time to go into every one of his bad moments, but real quick, he gave Loris Karius, the Liverpool keeper, a concussion in the Champions League final. In the same match, he pulled the arm of Mo Salah, dislocating it when he hit the ground. That's 2 for 2, Sergio. He also will break people's noses, or just elbow them when it suits. It's just his style. Now, let's move on to a category of divers. Divers are a special bunch. They draw fouls, they play act, melodramatically, operatically, and sometimes with flair. Even in this age of instant replays and post-match super scrutiny, they continue to dive. Let's examine some of them, shall we? Number 5. Sergio Busquets. The Catalan is a rock as Barcelona's defensive midfielder. So why does he, throw himself around? He got Thiago Motta sent off in a 2013 Champions League game, flopping all over the pitch. Busquets then went and put his hands over his face. Oh, the agony. Then, to check to see whether Motta had been carded, he withdrew a hand and looked. We see you, Sergio. Number 4. Dani Alves. Busquets' ex-Barcelona teammate, Dani Alves, also has engaged in theatrics on the ground. One well-known moment was when he got Pepe sent off in a Champions League semi-final. Pepe got to the ball, and Alves did a flip. Come on, Danny, you're better than that. Number 3. Arjen Robben. The baldest man in the business got out of the game a while back. We won't be forgetting his cutting runs, his spot kicks, or his play for Bayern or the Netherlands. But he went down all the time. And to his enormous credit, he has admitted to doing it. In the 2014 World Cup, he admitted to diving in the service of getting the Dutch team a penalty. Arjen, we salute your speed, your daring, and your game. And of course, your dynamism in the field of diving. Number 2. Neymar. Okay, you saw this coming. And when this talented forward plays, you know the dives are coming. They are somehow graceful, even as they infuriate opposing players. And, well, all of us. No one does it better than Neymar. Players like Busquets, they do their simulation discreetly, with delicacy. But Neymar, he just goes for it. And he nails it. But he's very strategic about it. His skills are such that defenders are often aware they'll have to foul him if they want to stop him. And we understand that can get irritating from time to time. But what the hell, man? Pick yourself up occasionally. On the other hand, there's a method to the way the Brazilian genius debases himself. His simulation is always in the service of helping his team win. And in the end, that's really what dirty play is all about. And now, for the weirdest kind of dirty player. The kind of dirty player whose dirtiness is completely unpredictable and unforgivable and beautiful in its twisted way. That dirty player is Uruguay's own Luis Suarez. And he likes to bite. Number 1, Luis Suarez. He's a champion with Barcelona and a player who never stops fighting. He also never stops biting. See what we did there? For reasons no one understands, the soft-spoken, polite Suarez enjoys nibbling on opponents when the starting line. It's nothing serious, we swear. But pesky defenders, they incur his incisors. There's a delicacy to the lead-up to the bite. All the single-mindedness of an alpha predator closing in on the kill. A cheetah bearing down on its young impala. Throughout his success at club and international level, He's never forgotten the biting. At Ajax, he bit. At Liverpool, Branislav Ivanovic got a bit out of line. So Suarez bit his forearm. Tasty. With Uruguay, an Italian defender was in his way. So Suarez had a quick nibble. We applaud Suarez for seeking counseling to stop treating fellow players like pieces of meat. I know I was wrong with the biting and the diving. Self-knowledge is essential for self-reform, Luis. Dirty play is really all about gaining an advantage in this extraordinarily difficult game. Against the world's best, every bite counts. Can we really blame these players for their bouts of dirtiness? Our answer? An emphatic yes! Not uttered while rolling around and getting trash stains on your kit.
Gracias, Nelly. La Cruz Roja Americana solicita donación de sangre ante la escasez que experimentan por la cancelación de 32 eventos, lo que ha resultado en 1.258 donaciones menos. La Cruz Roja Americana asegura que no existe evidencia de datos y que
A lot of footballers have committed crimes. Maradona, Ronaldo, Mascherano. But some have acted out with such severity, they ended up in jail. What did they do? Here are 9 football players who went to prison.
Wash your hands. El sábado en Billy Bucks, Texas, en Fort Worth,
Robinho.
para que a lo largo de 3 días
Robinho is the only player on this list to have not spent a night in prison. But this could happen very soon. In 2017, Robinho was sentenced to 9 years in prison by the Italian justice system for being involved in the gang rape of a 22-year-old woman. He's escaped punishment thus far, only because he appealed against the decision. As of right now, he's continuing to play football and is currently playing in Turkey. George Best. The Northern Ireland midfielder is thought of as one of the most skillful players of all time. How did this silky dribbler go from Old Trafford to the big house? In 1984, George Best received a 3-month prison sentence for drunk driving and assaulting a police officer. He spent Christmas Day behind bars.
I did something that was wrong, and I had to pay for it.
Not a very Merry Christmas for the Best family.
Joseph, come on, we're gonna get macaroni.
Troy Deeney.
Part 3 coming up.